Hey, how's it going? Today I was looking through all the films I missed in the last few weeks and stumbled across one that had an interesting premise. Leave the World Behind is a dramatic thriller starring Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, and Julia Roberts. The story follows the Sanford family who decide to take a vacation in a small hamlet outside of New Jersey. After their phones mysteriously disconnect and the internet stops working, two strangers appear in the middle of the night at their door seeking shelter. The story is based on a novel by Rumaan Alam and was adapted into a screenplay and directed by Sam Ishmael. It's a slow burn mystery in which several unexplained events happen while the Sanfords and the Scotts are confined into one space. With a lot of mistrust between them, accusations flying around, and things getting progressively worse, the two families must reconcile their differences to survive. The film has several storylines and shows you things from the perspective of each of the members of the Sanford family as well as the Scotts. Each person gets their own journey, but they are not all equal in size and importance. The main storylines belong to Amanda, Ruth, George, and Clay, with Archie and Rose's storyline taking a back seat. Amanda Sanford, played by Julia Roberts, is a paranoid, mistrusting woman who takes every chance she can to put others down. In her own words, she hates humans. When it comes time to trust the Scotts, she just can't seem to shake her bad feelings. Clay Sanford, played by Ethan Hawke, is an easygoing man who is quite knowledgeable. When things start going badly, he runs out of answers and starts getting lost. He's quick to trust others and follow their lead. George Scott, played by Mahershala Ali, is a kind man who knows something bad is coming, but doesn't know what to believe. He tries his best to get along with the Sanfords while taking care of his own daughter Ruth. He keeps his information close to his chest and expects danger around every corner. Ruth Scott, played by Myha'la, is similar to Amanda. She's mistrusting and lashes out whenever she feels scared. Unlike Amanda, she's still young and has a reason to be. Ruth clings to her father while facing her pessimistic view of the future. Outside of them are the two Sanford children and a few extras on the beach and going about their day in the town. Kevin Bacon also appears in a couple of scenes as a friend of George's. They're all playing normal people in a highly dramatic time and dealing with extreme circumstances. Visually, the film spends most of its time on one rural house set, with the characters visiting a few other rural houses and shooting outside on the road, in the forest, by a cabin, and by a beach. They run around looking for answers and help and find none. Meanwhile, there are all kinds of paranormal activities going on in the background. Animals in the dozens standing around, strange events like planes falling from the skies or boats beaching themselves. There's a highly dramatic but clean visual style to the film and a lot of CGI effects throughout to create the paranormal activities. Sound-wise, the film makes use of a couple of original tracks and a lot of scored and instrumental tracks. The original tracks usually add a bit of happy emotion and flavor to the characters and environments they play in. There's some rock, R&B, and a few dance songs. The scored and instrumental tracks are used to create tension, set the mood, and build out the atmosphere during darker moments. There's a lot of piano and strings, generally creating feelings of mystery, tension, danger, and chaos. Alrighty then, now onto the review. The writing is good at building mystery, creating elegant sounding exchanges, and interesting characters. The interactions between the Scotts and the Sanfords are fairly intense, and their journey of learning to trust one another is suspenseful. While the journey is quite interesting, the events in the background are where the film falls apart. It spends most of its runtime keeping the event a mystery, and once it's revealed what's actually happening, the answer is extremely unsatisfying. It's a vague answer at best. They finish the characters' journeys, but stop short after they learn to trust one another. We never find out their ultimate fate or what exactly was happening in the background. It all feels unfinished, like one big mystery box. The cast does a fantastic job of building their characters and giving them nuanced personalities. They also make the situation seem believable and incredibly tense. All four of the main leads stand out for the characters they play and the emotions they show. Julia Roberts shows fantastic chemistry with Mahershala Ali and Myha'la while working through a set of complex emotions that anyone would find difficult. Roberts creates a character that you kind of dislike, but that you can empathize with by the end of the film. Mahershala Ali plays his character in a gentle and scared manner. Ali gets to do a lot of subtle emotional work and gets to do a couple of fantastic monologues. He nails the emotional journey and displays great chemistry with Roberts. Ethan Hawke seems like a know-it-all but quickly develops into a useless stick in the mud. He shows off some impressive emotional work throughout the film and creates a character that surprises you when you least expect it. Myha'la's Ruth is a bit obnoxious, but there's always just enough fear underneath that you can tell she's a kid trying to play tough. She deals with the emotional journey of her character well and ends up developing decent chemistry with Roberts over the course of the film. The visual journey is well designed, filled with interesting angles and camera movement and lots of dramatic lighting. There's a lot of intense conversation and dramatic moments, and the film does a good job of making the journey as a whole interesting, but fails to have any big standout moments. It does attempt with the film's background events, but they overused CGI for it, which doesn't look good. The CGI involves planes, ships, and cars crashing, and lots of shots of CGI animals lounging around. It's always really obvious that it's CGI though. Sound-wise, the film makes great use of its music in several different ways. The original tracks add a lot of flavor and personality to the characters and montages where they're used. The upbeat vibes create a happy feeling and lull you into a full sense of security. Then the instrumentals and scored tracks come in to create an incredibly tense atmosphere. It adds a lot of chaos and confusion into the mix and turns each of the events and the moments leading up to them into supernatural affairs. Overall, Leave the World Behind is a decent dramatic thriller with good acting, a solid soundtrack, a clean visual journey, and a good mystery. It doesn't answer all of the questions you may have, but it does tell a human story about people learning to connect. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Bye-bye.